Right.
So Donald Trump will come over, and we know now that he's going to be meeting the Queen.
Yep.
And then, within a short period of time, going to be seeing Vladimir Putin as well.
His best friend, yes. They had a rift, of course, over the expulsion of spies, diplomats, following the Sergei Skripal poisoning and Yulia Skripal poisoning in Salisbury. And Trump expelled dozens, but he's always been very close to Russia, which helped him get elected. Now, he claims he didn't know about it, although...
There's an investigation ongoing.
Yeah, exactly, but we know the bots and so on the net were working in his favour, and there's always been that speculation too about the tape.
More conciliatory towards Russia than anybody else. I was wondering also, Andrew, just watching those pictures from the World Cup, Russia's pulling off an incredible propaganda coup here at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, but
showing off its country to the world. And
it was always the point for some people that England shouldn't take part in it because it was always going to be exploited by Putin as a great showcase for Russia, which has got a terrible human rights record, murders journalists, terrible to gay people, terrible to ethnic minority people. But he is using well, and apparently the team are playing well too, which is an added bonus.
Yes, they are.
First half certainly was very good from the England game, but the perspective, as Susanna said, the reality is we're watching nations from all over the world come together in Russia to celebrate a remarkable festival. The Iranian team's being supported by women for the first time. Iranian women can't go to football games in Iran, and yet they can go and see their national team play. It's quite a coup, and it's, you know...
But at least we didn't send our officials.
Yeah, well, I mean...
No, well...
I suppose no surprise that Donald Trump would like to go and celebrate with Putin afterwards as well.
Yeah, but, you know, part of what Trump does is, because Putin is an international pariah, condemned by the G7, all these groups, because of the poisoning in Salisbury, it's just typical of Trump. He'll go and be his mate. But he's just going to be his mate because it upsets everybody else, Merkel, Macron, especially the Prime Minister, Theresa May.
But it's trying to get a delicate balance here, because you've got to maintain links with Russia. I think it's quite right to be talking rather than just screaming at each other and threatening war all the time. And I know Russians, and a lot of Russians are just... you know, nice, ordinary people.
This isn't an issue with the Russian people. No. This is an issue with the Russian leadership.
But in a way, what's happening is fans are going over and they're seeing ordinary Russians. They're not seeing Putin. They're seeing people who are just like them. You know, they work, have jobs.
Because he's on his best behaviour.
At the moment.
He's on his best behaviour. He's told his police to be on his best behaviour, no police brutality. And because he's determined this is going to be a PR
and the world media is watching so closely.
Absolutely.
Talking of Donald Trump, overnight we saw him signing this executive order following the outcry over what we've been seeing, these kids being put in cages, being forcibly removed from illegal immigrant parents. I mean, what's your reaction? It seems like it's the criticism that's come about because of the policy that has forced his hand here.
You don't hear Trump U-turning very often, so we're relieved he has. But this has followed the most extraordinary outpouring of international anger, not least by 5 former First Ladies, including his own wife, and now we know his daughter.
He's the TV president. He watches the news all the time. It's looking bad. He wants to change it. But was it a fortnight ago? He was all over Kim Jong-un like a rash. Kim Jong-un running a rape, torture, murder regime in North Korea, and Trump's his new best friend. And yet, at the same time, he was implementing this policy, tearing families apart, putting kids in cages. His supporters were mocking them when they were suffering and crying.
Well, you had that extraordinary woman on your programme yesterday suggesting that these children were actors. A bizarre statement.
Well, let's put her in a cage for a few months.
They should put you in one.
Yes.
You have to find a large one.
It's extraordinary that you couldn't have empathy for tiny children.
Never used children as pawns. They were just being used as pawns by the president. They were.